Hello and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope you're all today, hope you're all feeling grand and always well in your world. Hello there, everybody. I thought, as I finished the intro jam today, that's too short. I really like the intro jam. I'm going to have to make a song out of it. I like it that much. I want to actually make a song out of the chord progression. It sounds really nice, so it's going to become a song at some point. But I was like, it's too short for an intro jam. I'm not giving people enough. So I've done another one. So there's going to be an outro jam on this Q&A as well. So hopefully that's a bit longer. But hopefully that will make up for the shorter intro jam. Anyway, welcome to the Q&A Wednesday, everybody. Let's dive into question one. I'm only going to be able to do 4 questions today because my alarm didn't go off. And that's the excuse I'm going to use. And now I'm rushing to get it done in time. Okay, so lazy Dave, basically. Anyway. Question 1 today is your thoughts on Mark Knopfler. Is he too clean for you? No. Mark Knopfler, I really like Mark Knopfler's guitar playing. I can't hold my hands up and say I'm the biggest fan of Dire Straits and his music. I'm like, oh my god, I love everything they do. Because that's not me. I love a lot of what they do. I love Brothers in Arms, stuff like that. What is that one? Is it called Local Hero? I think it's called Local Hero. That is probably my favourite Mark Knopfler tune. Local Hero. I just love the melody. I think it's called Local Hero. I'm just double check. I don't want to get that wrong. I'm pretty sure that's it. But knowing me, I'm utterly terrible with song titles, so I probably got it wrong. Local Hero. Yeah, it is. Also Romeo and Juliet. I love Romeo and Juliet. Thank you for reminding me, YouTube. But songs like that, I really love those songs. Brothers in Arms is an incredible song, I think, personally. Also, stuff like that. But I love his guitar playing. I love his film scores as well. I grew up watching films like The Princess Bride. And Mark Knopfler did the music to that film. And it's just... that defined a part of my life, that sound. The Princess Bride was a big part of my growing up. I loved that film. I still do love that film. I always wanted to be Inigo Montoya. You killed my father, prepare to die. I always wanted to be him, because I thought he was the coolest character in the entire film. I never wanted to be anybody else in that film. I always wanted to be him, because he was a swordsman, and I love the idea of that. But anyway, that's beside the point, isn't it? Anyway, but yeah, Mark Knopfler did the music to Princess Bride, so he's got a very big place in my kind of my musical upbringing in a way, because I'd watch that film and his song in that. Always remember it stuck out to me, more than kind of any other music in the film. That really soft melody, I can't get copyright for doing that, hopefully, because it was terrible. But it's a gorgeous little melody and a gorgeous piece of music that kind of goes through that film, and yeah, it's really, really, it captures the feel of the entire film. It's really, sad but hopeful, but heroic and all this stuff. It's so cool. So Mark Knopfler, I love his songwriting, I love his guitar playing. I don't like everything he's done, no. I mean, that's me just being honest. But I love his guitar playing, I love his songwriting, I love his guitar sound. His guitar sound is, you could just pick him out, you know what I mean? If there was 100 guitar players playing and Mark Knopfler was one of them, you'd know who he was, you know what I mean? It's one of those, and that's really cool. I just like that. I just like his kind of the way he plays. I mean, again, he's not a guitarist I listen to a lot. He's not a guitarist I'm going to go and run off and listen to, kind of to get in, massive inspiration, so to say. But he's one of those guitarists that I have so much respect for. And just the things that I do like of his, I love, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Just because of like I say, like, you know, stuff like Local Hero and Brothers in Arms and Romeo and Juliet and stuff like that. They get me in a certain way. So, I mean, I really like Martin Knopfler. I mean, I love his guitar playing. I love his guitar sound. I love his songwriting and his ability to, you know, do his film scores are amazing, and stuff like that. And his instrumental stuff is really, really cool. And his guitar playing, his guitar soloing, especially in stuff like Brothers in Arms, is just full of emotion. It's just there's so much in there. There's just so much in there. Yeah. So yeah, I am a fan of Martin Knopfler, and he's not too clean for me. No, definitely not. But I can't say I'm like I'm the biggest fan in the world or the number one fan, but I'm certainly a fan. Like I say, the things that I do love of Martin Knopfler, I really love. You know what I mean? So be that for what, I don't know how much of that made sense, but you know what I mean. But like I say, and again, it's a big part of me growing up. Listening to watching Princess Bride and listening to that piece of music, and it always will stick with me. Every time I hear that piece of music from Princess Bride, it takes me back to that period of my life. And, it's not just the film that does that, it's that piece of music, you know what I mean? Because it was a big part. It's a big part of my life then. So and it's still watching that film now, and like I say, it just takes me straight back to that period in time. And I love the fact that Nigel Tufnell is a six-handed swordsman. That's brilliant. It's Christopher Guest, isn't it? Is it Christopher Guest? But yeah. So yeah. I mean, that's my thoughts on Martin Knopfler. Like I say, for what that's worth. So I'm going to move on to question 2 now. Question 2 is, and this kind of comes up again actually in question 4, but I'll answer it in 2 parts. Question 2 is, what should I be practicing to progress? I want to play lead guitar. Yeah, so what you should be practicing to progress on guitar if you want to play lead is learning other people's solos. Learning Slash's guitar solo, stuff like November Rain, where it's slow but melodic. Stuff like, if you want to learn a good guitar solo that will get you flying up and down and around the neck, you want to be learning Another Girl on Another Planet by The Only Ones. Another Girl on Another Planet by The Only Ones guitar solos are a masterclass in pentatonic, gorgeous guitar playing. There is so much to be learnt from that one solo. It's unreal. And I did do a video on it, but I wish I'd gone into more detail about it, because I don't feel I did go into enough detail. But I do have a video on it, but I didn't go into enough detail. But if you want to play lead guitar, then pursue that. But you do have to be able to kind of like have the chord base. You know what I mean? You need to know your chords as well. You can't just kind of like learning lead, because you'll end up in a situation where that's all you can do. And trust me, you want to be able to play rhythm as well as lead. Lead guitar playing is wicked, and I love it. But you do have to be able to play rhythm competently as well, and you have to be able to play really good, chord progressions as well competently. You can't just be kind of like, I'm just going to do the solo over everything. That sometimes isn't required of you. So just bear that in mind. You know what I mean? You don't always just want to be kind of like, I just want to play lead and that's all I do. Because if you go to a jam session, or your friends come over to jam, or you do a gig, and all you can do is lead, and then there's a section where you have to play rhythm, no ifs, no buts, you're going to be in trouble. So you kind of want to be learning both, really. But if you want to be playing lead, just put more emphasis on learning other people's guitar solos, like Slash, or your heroes, or Eric Clapton, or Peter Green, or John Frusciante, or Jimi Hendrix, or whoever your hero is. Learn their guitar solos to the best of your ability. Start out on a really, really simple level. Like, start out with really simple guitar solos, and then it's kind of like, just gradually over the months and years, just kind of like gradually build that up. It just takes time. It just takes time. But like I say, do focus on rhythm guitar playing as well. Don't just focus on lead. Do focus on rhythm as well. But like I say, if you do want to focus more on lead, that's cool. But don't neglect the rhythm and knowing chords and strumming and different kind of like, time signatures and patterns and all that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because that is really important. Because you learn a lot about playing lead through understanding how rhythm guitar works, and bass also as well, and drums for that matter as well. I always feel a good lead guitarist isn't focusing on what they're doing, they're focusing on the drums and the bass and the rhythm guitar if there is one, and they're playing off them, they're playing with them instead of just widdly over the top. That's kind of like one of my little theories on lead guitar, is like you should always be kind of like absorbed in the whole, not just, you know, it's not just kind of like, you know, this is that's the music, and then guitar solo comes along, you step outside and now you're a separate entity. That it doesn't work that way to me. I always feel that when you guitar solo, you should be in the whole. It should obviously stick out as a guitar solo, but it shouldn't stick out as not belonging in that song. So if you've got a nice, slow, melodic, ballady song, you don't want to be doing like a million mile an hour shred guitar solo over top, because it just doesn't fit. You know, that's stepping outside the hole instead of being in the hole, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, and if you listen to the bass and the drums and the rhythm guitar, you can absorb that, and that can become your inspiration and your fuel to kind of like to see where you're going to go with the guitar solo, you know, and what does the song want from you? What does the song require from you? Instead of you kind of going, I want to do this, listen to the song and figure out what it wants of you, not what you want of it, what it wants of you, because that's 10 times more important. Because if you're listening to the song from a perspective of, how can I show off over this? You know, I don't feel you're not doing the music justice. You're just doing your ego justice. You know, it's an ego trip, and I don't think it should be an ego trip. I think it should be more of a case of you're adding an extra dimension. A guitar solo is just an extra dimension to the whole. Like I say, it's not just, hey, look at me, look what I can do. That doesn't make any sense to me. I've never understood that kind of mindset. Even when I tried to do that mindset when I was younger, I never understood it. I remember I had a shred guitar solo in Gimbal, and it was fun to do, but I always felt that like it wasn't required. You know, even now, actually, funny enough, listening back to it, I cringe at it, because I'm like, it shouldn't have been there. It should have been something totally different. But, you know, at the time, it was what I was basically thought I should be doing. And looking back now with all the experience I've gained since then, I know better. You know, that wasn't required. Shred, fast, widdly guitar solos are required at certain points, definitely. But that was not one of the times. And we had a couple of other songs as well where I did it, and I was just like, oh, why did I do that? It's just like fast playing for the sake of playing fast. Anyway, but yeah, if you want to progress in lead playing, focus on lead playing. But you said, I forget exactly what you said, but you said about your 5 pentatonic scale. If you know them, then wicked. But learn solos now. Because learning your scales, like I say, learning your scales is like learning the alphabet. You know how to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, blah, blah. But now you need to be able to make words out of the letters, you know what I mean? So you're on to the next level of that. So you've learned the alphabet, now you need to be able to create words. And you start off with words like cat and dog. It's just, you know, you start off with the simplest and the most basic kind of spelling, so to say. And that's the same, you know, with the same with the guitar, you know. You start off simple and you work your way up, you know what I mean? So, but learning guitar solos is key, because then what you'll do is you'll create your own little vocabulary of licks that you like and guitar solos that you like. And eventually you can find little bits and pieces in each and every guitar solo where you're like, I love that bit. And then all of a sudden that bit becomes part of your playing. There's a Paul Kossoff lick, which I absolutely adore, which is this, where it's in Fire and Water on the Beat Club sessions. And he does it again. He does it in Mr. Big on the Beat Club sessions, but it's a later Beat Club sessions. And he also does it in the Isle of Wight in... It's not Fire and Water. Be My Friend. So, there's this little lick that Paul does. And I don't know how well you'll be able to hear this, but it's in, say we're in B minor. He bends up the G string on the 9th fret, a tone, and then he does this. Da-na-na-na-na. And it's a very stereotypical kind of like Paul Kossoff lick. You know what I mean? It's amazing. You know, it's gorgeous. It sounds gorgeous. It descends and then comes back up, and it's just heaven. And you can, you know, and that's now in my playing. I find I can hear that every now and again in my guitar playing, in guitar solos, and I'm like, oh, there it is. It's sort of subconsciously in my mind. Well, not in my mind. It's in me when I play now. It's just there, and it comes out when obviously it feels right to do so. So that's what I'd recommend to do, really. Like I say, if you want to play lead, then focus more on lead. But again, don't neglect rhythm, don't neglect chords, don't don't go against those kind of things. It's really important to have all that in there as well as being able to play lead. You have to be an all-rounder. There's no point just being, oh, I'm a lead guitarist, because there might come a time when you're not allowed. You know what I mean? You know, there might come a time when we're like, well, we don't require you to play lead. You know what I mean? So you've got to think about, you need to be an all-rounder. You need to be a good rhythm player, and you need to be a good lead guitar player as well. But you also need to be able to play within the means of the song. Don't play within the means of your ego, if you know what I mean. You know, you don't want to be playing just to kind of like, you know, to satisfy yourself, and just because, like, you know, just because you want to do something with a guitar doesn't mean you should do it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, just because you want to run through the park naked doesn't mean you should do it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. You know, you've got to play within the context of the song and the confines of the song. It will tell you what it wants of you, and you will obey it. You know what I mean? You know, the music knows better than you do. So just submit to music and you'll be okay. You know, just submit to it. Don't question it. Just go with it. You know. Anyway, I hope I've answered your question anyway. I'm going to move on to question 3 now. Okay, so question 3 is, what? I like this question. What are your favourite John Frusciante clothes? What's your favourite era? Like, example, Slane Castle, where he's wearing the cowboy shirt. I don't know. I mean, I really like the way he dressed during the Californication period, off the map DVD period, is kind of like my favourite period of John, because, and also, this is going to sound really silly, but it's true. I have worn Adidas. Sorry about that, everyone. I had a memory card glitch. So, what was I saying? Adidas Samba shoes, yes. I have worn Adidas Sambas for ages, and the reason being, I bet you can't guess. Yeah, I found out that John wore Adidas Sambas during the Californication era tour, and you can see it. If you look at the Budokan gig, John's wearing them then, and he wore them constantly. Like, apparently he wore them like they lasted like a whole tour or something like that. They were, you know, he wore them a lot, and because of that reason, I wanted Adidas Sambas. I found out he wore them in about 2004. No, it'd have been before that. 2003 it would have been. So I found out he wore Adidas Sambas for that tour in 2003. And since then I've worn those shoes. Hope John realises this. Anyway, he'd be a bit freaked out if he did, Dave. My God! Freak. Anyway, nothing wrong with that. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I really like the clothes he wears during, like, you know, the Californication era kind of thing, especially like the Budokan gig. It just looks really cool. The Budokan gig, I think he looks really, really cool. The beard and in his hair in a ponytail and like the blue shirt, it looks really cool. And the obviously the things to cover his arms, because obviously he was paranoid about his arms. But yeah, I mean, the Slane Castle get-up, I mean, the Slane Castle shirt is iconic to John fans. It always will be. It's probably, I would say the Slane Castle shirt is the most iconic John get-up, if you will. Definitely. Just because, you know, that shirt has just become a big thing. You know what I mean? It really is. I'm trying to think of yours. The Stadium Arcadium clothes he wore at the beginning, where he'd wear, like, suit jackets and stuff, I stole that as well. In 2006, when I first saw John playing live during Steady Arcade, I saw him live on Top of the Pops in 2006. It was a little promo gig they did at the BBC, outside the BBC in London for Stadium Arcadium to promote it. And John's wearing a blue suit jacket with an oversized like blue shirt that doesn't fit him. And so I immediately went out and I bought a blue suit jacket and blue oversized. I actually already had the blue oversized shirt. But from that point on, I always kind of like, when I can, if it's not too hot, always wore suit jackets when playing gigs. And my favourite one is actually hung up on the door, just there actually. But yeah, so again, John's influence on me, because I just wanted to, I'm a mega John fan, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, but I think my favourite kind of period of John's kind of clothes, I'd say, is that Californication era, like, where there's kind of like, again, I'm doing it now, t-shirts with shirts underneath. John did that a lot during Californication. You know what I mean? There was I don't think he had, I think they were just kind of arm covers, just to cover his arms. But John did kind of like, there's quite a few times where he'd wear t-shirts and with long sleeve shirts underneath. And again, that's what I'm doing this now. So, massive influence, yet again, in so many ways, Mr. John Frusciante. So, but like I said, I do think that the Slane Castle is the most iconic look for John. I could be totally wrong in that, but for me, that's what I feel, definitely. That's the kind of one that people kind of go, I know that shirt, so to say. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, my favourite era is that kind of like a Californication when John came back. I really think that's a cool period of John clothes. Anyways, I got Sambas. So yeah, there you go, everybody. Another window opens into the interesting, not really interesting world, but the world of Dave's John Frusciante obsessed brain. Okay, so I'm just trying to sort my plectrum out while talking. Okay, so yeah, that's my kind of favourite era. That's my favourite era of John. Full stop in everything: guitar playing, guitar tone. Californication for me is my favourite period of John. It really I just love it. I just love everything about that period of his guitar tone, his playing and everything like that. It's just ridiculous. Okay, so moving on to final question, everybody. Question 4. I would like to do more, but I'm running out of time now because, like I say, my alarm didn't go off. Okay, so question 4. I'm looking for a setup. Question 4 is, I'm looking for a setup for both home and for future live gigs, and I'm torn between digital and analogue. So, what's thoughts on Kemper, Silver Jubilee, or Blues Junior? And also, would 15 watts be loud enough to gig with? So I'm guessing you're talking about the Blues Junior there. 15 watts with Blues Junior would definitely be loud enough to gig with, because the Blues Junior is an absolute little monster. The Blues Juniors are really, really cool, but they are really, really cool amps. They're definitely... when I was in London, I had a tutor down there called Dario, and he swore by the Blues Junior. That's all he used was the Blues Juniors. He loved them. And in all fairness, I've tried a few. I tried a tweed one, which was probably my favourite, actually. There was a tweed one I borrowed for about a day or so. And I really enjoyed the Tweed Blues Junior. I don't know if it's any different. It probably isn't. But again, amps all being different. And then there was... I seem to think there was only one in Old Hat that I tried. And we didn't have it there for very long. But there was a Blues Junior in Old Hat that was really, really good as well. Because I really like Blues Junior. I think they're one of the best Fender amps out there. You know what I mean? I really do. I think there's something to be said for the Blues Junior. And the fact that it's got a master and a kind of like a gain control so you can crank it and kind of get that kind of thing going with it. It's really, really cool. I do like the Blues Juniors. Very nice amps. Supremely loud, though. For 15 watts, very loud amp. So I would say that's definitely loud enough to gig with. Silver Jubilee is definitely loud enough to gig with because they're an absolute monster. Digital analog, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you want to go Kemper, you go Kemper. If you want to go Jubilee, go Jubilee. If you want to go Blues Junior, go Blues Junior. What I would recommend here is, because all these are fine for live and for home, apart from maybe the Silver Jubilee 100 watt. If you got an attenuator on the Jubilee, but saying that, it depends what you're kind of going to use it for. If you're going to just use the Jubilee as kind of like a bass, so to say, to run pedals on, or to kind of like as a core kind of clean tone, then you can get that thing really, really quiet in a home environment. You know what I mean? It can be really, really quiet. So, yeah, so you can't really go wrong with any of these things. So what I would recommend here is, when you can, because obviously lockdown and all that lot, I would say, when we can all start leading normal lives again, go to a guitar shop and try them all, and spend time with them all. Maybe do it over a period of days. Like, one day try the Kemper, the next day try the Jubilee, the next day try the Blues Junior, and really get a feel for what they're doing. You know what I mean? And what you want out of them. And always ask yourself what you want. Not what anybody else wants. What do you want out of this amp? Pedal, guitar, whatever. What do you want out of it? Because if you don't know what you want, then you're going to struggle. You need to know what you want. Otherwise you're just going to be kind of like fumbling around in the dark going, I think that's it there. And you don't know what it is, you know what I mean? So you need to ask yourself what you want from this. You know what I mean? What kind of sound you want? Who are you trying to, what are you trying to get out of it sound-wise, tonality-wise, and this, that, and the other. So, when you can, I can't really say which one is best, because they're all amazing. The Kemper, the Silver Jubilee, and the Blues Junior. I haven't tried a Kemper, but I can imagine it's very, very good. But because people rave about it. But I've never tried one, so I'd reserve judgment on that at this point in time. But Silver Jubilee and Blues Junior, you can't really go wrong with either of them, because they're amazing. But like I say, when you can, if you can, I would go out and try them firsthand. And if you can't, just watch reviews on YouTube, as many as you can, to get an idea of what the amp or the Kemper does that you like, and just kind of weigh up pros and cons, really. Kind of like, what do you want? Again, what do you want from it? And, where do you want it to go, so to say? So, the Kemper would probably be the most convenient choice, just in the fact of what it can do. It's very convenient. But the Silver Jubilee and the Blues Junior, there's something to be said for them as well. So, I don't know. It's a difficult one to answer, because, like I say, I mean, I don't really know what kind of sound you're kind of going for, or what you're trying to achieve by these amps. I mean, I don't know if it's kind of like, if it's an all-purpose thing, you kind of set either way, because you can kind of pretty much do anything you want with any of those amps. You can cover a wide variety of styles with either of those amps. Again, running different pedals, you can do anything. So, but 15 watts is definitely loud enough if you're looking at the Blues Junior, definitely, because they are loud little things. But the thing I found about the Blues Junior is they're loud, but they don't have a great deal of projection. They don't travel. The sound doesn't travel. It doesn't throw the sound too far. It sounds great, but if you're ever going to use it live, you kind of worry it wants to be mic'd up. You know what I mean? It doesn't. Even in like a small place, it wants to be mic'd up. It doesn't have a lot of throw. The Silver Jubilee, and I can imagine the Kemper as well, because it's quite high powered, they would throw the sound really far, whereas the Blues Junior doesn't have a great deal of throw. So yeah, for what that is. But yeah, but it's definitely loud enough. It's just a case of like, you just need to mic the thing up. That's all. The Blues Junior. So like I say, sorry, rude of me. Sorry about that. But like I say, I mean, digital analog, it doesn't really matter. It's just what works for you, really, and what you want, and what makes you happy when you play for it, more than anything, really. So yes. So I hope that's answered that part of your question. The other part of your question, we're kind of going back to question 2 here in a way, is you asked, what's the most effective way to practice guitar? And what should a practice routine look like? Okay, so when it comes down to practice routine, I don't have one. So if you're after a practice routine, then I'm not the person to ask. You're going to have to find somebody else to kind of guide you on that kind of thing. Because I don't have a practice routine. I just play the guitar when I want for however long I want. I've never gone kind of, I'm going to play the guitar now for 20 minutes and I'm going to study theory for 5 and I'm going to run scales for 10 and then for the last 5 minutes I'm going to maybe learn a song or try and figure out ear training or do some transcribing. I've never done that and it doesn't work for me to do that. I am not that way inclined brain-wise. I just pick up the guitar and I play it when I want to play it and I play it for however long I want to play it, if that makes any sense. Like, some days I'll play the guitar just for 5 minutes and then put it down and not play it again. Some days I'll play the guitar literally all day, off and on, constantly. You know what I mean? It just... I don't do the whole practice routine thing. And what's the most effective way to practice guitar? I think is simply learning what you want to learn. Don't fall into the trap of you've got to learn this, or you've got to learn that, and you've got to learn this. If you don't want to learn it, don't learn it. You know what I mean? If you feel you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know what I mean? It's really, really important to only learn and play what you want to play. You know what I mean? It's not worth spending the time learning something that you're not interested in, trust me. You know, you want to put all that effort into learning things you do want to learn. You know what I mean? It's totally a waste of time, I feel, to kind of like to sit there going, I'm gonna learn this scale when I'm not going to use it. You know what I mean? It's totally counterproductive. So, the most effective way to practice guitar, like I feel, is to kind of literally learn everything you want and forget the rest. You know what I mean? You're never going to learn it all anyway. And as a guitarist, as a musician, as a human, you are in a constant state of learning anyway. And I don't necessarily mean that, you know, you're learning about music or the guitar. You're learning about yourself. And, you know, you could be learning about what music means to you and what you want out of music for you and what music gets you and what music, out of that, what music you want to play. You know what I mean? You're in a constant state of learning. I think, you know, you never stop learning. It's as simple as that. And anybody who goes, I've learned it all, is a total liar, because they haven't learned it all. There's always something else to be learned in anything. You know what I mean? You know, master carpenters who build stunning pieces of kind of like furniture and work. You know, they can... Sorry about that, everyone. We had another... we had a Dave glitch that time. Anyway, as I was saying, master carpenters, they can always learn something from somebody as well. They have never learned everything, you know what I mean? So, like I say, the most effective way to practice guitar is to learn what you want to learn. And what a practice routine looks like is just whatever works again for you. It's not a case of kind of like, you know, spending 15 minutes on theory, 20 minutes on transcribing this, blah, blah, blah. That might not work for you. So you've kind of got to find your own way. Like I said, we all constantly learn. We never stop learning. Like you know, it's just the way it is. And you know, it's quite, I don't know. But I do feel it's really, really important to learn what you want and not what you're told. You know what I mean? Because especially in a musical instrument, because it's just so important to be playing what you want to be playing and not, and it should never be a chore. You don't want to be kind of like, oh, now I've got to play this. Ugh. And you know, it never wants to be that. You never want to be kind of like, you know, oh, now I've got to play this. It wants to be a case of, oh, I can't wait to play that. You know what I mean? And you don't get that, really, unless you are playing and learning things that you want to do. Because I remember doing certain things where I'm like, I've got to play this song. And you haven't got it in you. It just doesn't sit. And that's the way it is. And you shouldn't penalise yourself for being that way, because not everything out there is going to appeal to you. You know, you're allowed to not like things. You know what I mean? You know, you're allowed not to like things. You know, obviously when you start trying to force that opinion on other people, saying, well, why do you like it? I hate it. Why do you? Obviously that's when it gets a bit silly, and you shouldn't be doing that. You know, your opinion is your opinion. It doesn't, you know, it's got no weight on anybody else's. Somebody else likes it, cool. If you don't, then shut your mouth. It's quite simple. You know, there's far too many unwanted opinions. Anyway, I digress. I'm onto the subject of YouTube trolls there. So, anyway, but yeah, like I say, your opinion is your opinion. If you like something, then you like it. It doesn't make any difference. And the same thing goes with learning and practicing the guitar. If you want to learn Smoke on the Water, and people are like, oh my god, why are you learning Smoke on the Water? But you really want to learn that song, then learn that song. You know what I mean? Don't get peer pressured out of learning something you want to learn, because it's not, that isn't the point of the guitar. That isn't the point of music. Music is there to kind of to make us happy and to make us feel free. And if learning Smoke on the Water does that, learn Smoke on the Water. If that's what you want to learn it. And I always feel there's you know what I mean? It's like, I know what I want to say, I just can't think of the words. Which is a weird contradiction in itself there, Dave. But yeah, I don't know where I was going to go. I can't think of where I was going to go there. But yeah, you do have to learn what you want to learn. You really do. It's really important to not listen to anybody other than yourself of what you want out of the guitar. It really is important. As far as practice routines go, like I say, I don't know because I don't do it. And I can't do it because it's not in me to do it. Like I said, I just pick up a guitar and play it whenever I feel like playing it. I'm never too far away from a guitar, as you can see. And I don't actually like being with it. If I have to go out to a family meal, and obviously you can't take a guitar to a family meal, I feel like I'm missing a limb. The guitar is such a huge part of me that when I don't have it, I don't feel right. Even just walking around, going to, when you used to be able to just kind of go to town or go out for a drive, I feel that I should always have my guitar with me. And when I don't have it with me, I don't freak out, but I don't like it. I feel that I'm missing a part of me. So it's like going out and forgetting your arm. You know what I mean? It really does feel like that to me. And because of that, it's that's why that's why I love the guitar. It's just part of me. But yeah, I don't know. I'm talking nonsense now, I think, everybody. So but yeah, most effective way to practice guitar: learn what you want. Learn what you want, not what anybody else tells you. What you want. Just learn what you want. Just be happy and enjoy it and be excited and really just be like, I can't wait to play this song. And learning songs in their entireties is fun. Learning solos in their entireties is fun. It's just good fun. Have fun is the most important part of it. And submit to music. Let it take you. Let it speak to you. Let it control your actions when you play. Go unconscious. Let it guide you. There's that plane again. Why there should be planes in the sky, I don't know. But hey. I don't know if you can hear that. That's loud. That was low. Anyway, where was that? So yeah, music knows better than we do. Simple as that, and we all know what we want to learn. So once we've learned it, you can just forget it and let music take over. It'll know what to do. You don't have to worry about it. So, but yeah, like I say, what should a practice routine look like? Whatever you want it to look like. You know what I mean? There's no hard and fast rules about, your practice routine has to look like a school timetable where you start out with 15 minutes warming up, then you have 20 minutes understanding theory, then you have 20 minutes where you run scales. That to me is total, nonsense. I can't understand that way of thinking because that's the way I am. It works for some people, definitely. I know a lot. It worked for my brother really well, but to me, it's total nonsense because I can't do it. Just my opinion. It might work for you. You have to try it to find out. I tried it, despised it, never going to do it again. So, but you've got to try these things to find out what works and what doesn't work for you. So, what should a practice routine look like? I have no idea because we're all different, we're all individual, and we all learn and we all strive to be, whatever. It's just one of those things, really. You just got to, I don't know. It's just difficult to say. It's difficult to say. You've got to try all sorts of different things when it comes down to practice routines to find out what works for you. What do you enjoy doing the most? What gives you the most satisfaction out of practicing the guitar? Is it learning songs? Is it learning scales? Is it learning theory? Is it transcribing? What is it? What is it about, that? And then pursue that. Pursue what makes you happy. And especially in this day and age, even now more than ever, it's super important to pursue things that make you happy, because at this point in time, we need that, because there's no real future at this point in time, to quote Johnny Rotten. We don't have a future. We can't go on holiday. We can't go out and gig. We can't go out and see friends. We can't go out and have a family meal. We can't do this and we can't do that. So now more than ever, it's important to do things that make us happy, because that's all we have. Because we don't have anything else. This virus has robbed our freedom and our, that part of us. It's just taken it away. And that's really, really sad. You know what I mean? It's heartbreaking, to be honest with you. So many of us had things planned that have just gone, cut off at the waist, so to say. And it's just heartbreaking, really, when you think about it. Of all these dreams and aspirations that have to be put on hold just, because of this. And it's just like, it's just really sad. It breaks my heart. It really does. I had plans that I had to not do as well, and that breaks my heart, because I was so much looking forward to doing what I was going to do. And I had some gigs coming up that I was really looking forward to. I had a gig in May the 15th. It was 3 days before my birthday, at a blues club. And I was going to be headlining it, doing a blues set of my own songs. For about an hour, I was going to do my own music, and I was going to get I was going to get my brother to play bass. I was going to get my sister to play cajon. I was going to get my friend Dan in, and we were going to do some of my songs, and we were going to make a little kind of like blues night of it, doing songs that me and Dan have written, some songs that I've written, some songs that Dan's written, and we were going to make some really cool kind of like stuff. And I was really looking forward to that, and I was like, I cannot wait to do that. It's going to be so much fun. And obviously, that's not going to happen now. Also had a gig last weekend, not last weekend, sorry. I had a gig somewhere. It was again another blues festival where not me and Dan, where I was going to go and play. I got invited to go and play, to do my soundscapey thing for about 45 minutes. Just basically me playing guitar for 45 minutes, and I was really looking forward to doing that at this festival. I was really looking forward to doing that, but obviously that didn't happen. I've also got a festival. Me and Dan are supposed to be playing this massive festival, massive local festival, in June, and I can guarantee that won't happen either, because of large events. Rumour has it large events aren't returning this year now. That's kind of that, and I don't know how true it is. I read somewhere that somebody said, one article said it won't return until August next year, which is ridiculous. I understand it, but I don't know if that's... I don't know. Maybe we're just preempting it, so if it does go away sooner, then it they look a bit more heroic. I don't know. I don't believe. I don't. You just don't know what to believe anymore in this. It's so... There's such a tangled web. It's such a tangled web at this point in time. It's just kind of like one of those things of like, what the hell, But like I say, now more than ever, I do feel that kind of like we need some kind of hope, and we need some kind of dream and goal and aspiration, and something to pursue that will make us happy. Because there's so many of us out there at this point in time who won't be happy because of certain things that you are no longer allowed to do. You can't go and visit your family. You can't go and see your family, or this, that, and the other. And it's like, that's not stopping people, and I don't blame them. No one's going to stop me from seeing my family either. No one's going to stop me from seeing my mum or my brother or my sister. You know what I mean? As long as we're not stupid about it. No one's going to stop me from doing that. That's not fair. You can't stop me totally seeing my family. That's just cruel and unusual. you know, and you still see people, you know what I mean? You still have to see people, you have to, human beings are not solitary animals. We are social beings. We need social interaction. We need interaction and contact with other humans, even though we might not think we do, to be happy and to be content. You know what I mean? We need that. So when the rules are kind of like, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do the other. So, well, what can we do? You know what I mean? You're going to have to do something to make you happy. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm just bored of this period of time. It's just, does anyone else just feel like going into hibernation for the rest of 2020 and wake up in 2021? Because the only thing we've got to look forward to at this point in time is New Year's Eve, and that might be on hold. You know what I mean? That is literally the only thing. I keep going around saying that to everybody. It's like, you might as well just look forward to New Year's Eve because there's nothing else to look forward to. It's like, it's literally nothing. Every year for my birthday, we go bowling because it's just become a little tradition. For Dave's birthday, we'll go bowling. And this will be the first time in I don't know how many years we won't actually be going. And that's really sad to me. You know what I mean? It's really upsetting to me. And the fact of kind of like, it's just sad. It's just sad. There's just so much at this point in time. It's just kind of like, it just doesn't feel right, does it? I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks that, or probably I can highly doubt I'm not. Something just doesn't feel right about this whole situation, and it's just constant fear, and I'm terrified of everything. It's just, it's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I just don't understand anymore. I don't understand it. Never understood the world anyway, but I certainly don't understand it now. It's just literally kind of like, I don't know. But like I say, I've got off topic massively. But yeah, you just got, you've got to be happy in this day and age. Now more than ever. You really do. So yeah, sorry, that's really got me down thinking about all that. So I do apologise, everybody. How can it not get you down though? I mean, like I say, what is there right now to look forward to? We don't know when the virus is going to let up. We don't know when lockdown's going to be lifted. We don't know really anything about it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of kind of cross information. It's just a tangled web of stuff. It's just like what to believe, what not to believe. All you can do is just go day by day and just, see what tomorrow brings when you get to the end of the day, really. It's just a weird time. Certainly a time I never thought I would have to live through anyway, and kind of hoped I never would live through. I won't, it's more military planes in the sky again. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to shut up now anyway. So anyway, people of the tube, hope you enjoyed this Q&A. Like I said, it's only 4 questions today because, as I say, I got up late, even though it's not been a short one as usual. It never is. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. I hope I answered your questions okay, and I'll see you again on Friday for another video. Again, no idea what that's going to be yet. We'll see. Yeah, I'll see you again on Friday, everybody. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening. Be happy. Do things that make you happy. Speak to your friends. Speak to your family. Just don't totally isolate. Yeah, you can't do it. It's not going to do you any good if you totally isolate. You need interaction. Humans need interaction. They do. You can't just go and live in a cave on your own, although that would be quite cool sometimes. And expect to be okay for the rest of your life. You won't be. Yeah. I don't know. Weird time. Very tiring, very boring, very, very soul-destroying, and very, very depressing. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody, and I'll see you again. I'm off to lay down and cry. So, I'll see you again, everybody. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. See you on Friday. Goodbye now. Thanks for watching.